They say leadership is lonely, but if you've ever managed people, you would know that it's both funny, dramatic, and unpredictable. This is Office Talks with Nnenna Madu, where the boardroom meets the break room and the gist is brutally honest. A friend of mine once said that leadership is the courage to take responsibility, build people, and create values that outlives them. That friend of mine has over 28 years of experience in the oil and gas sector, and she also runs and have built successfully an EPCM, engineering procurement construction and management company, in this same oil and gas. I'm happy to present to you my friend Dr. Joan Faluyi in our studio today, having a discussion with us on Office Talks with Nnenna Madu.
Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Dr. Joan Faluyi.
It's a pleasure being here.
I am happy to have you here.
Mhm.
I am very delighted, and I'm sure we're going to have a good time. So, when I asked Dr. Faluyi that she should describe her journey, which she's going to also tell us in 3 to 5 sentences, I'm just going to read what she said. And she said that she started her career with early exposure to the oil and gas business through
Mhm.
her family operations, which shaped her understanding of the industry from the ground up. And she also mentioned that she went through the roles across finance, operations, commercial strategy, gaining in depth, and then transitioning into a formidable company which is well known in the oil and gas sector called Offshore Dimensions Limited. Dr. Joan Faluyi is the managing director of Offshore Dimensions Limited. And in fact, she recently was recognized for advancing local content participation and for spearheading strategic partnerships that strengthens Nigeria engineering procurement capabilities. So I'm just going to stop here and move to Joanne, who is the guest for our show today, for her to then tell us more. And we are going to be discussing on the lonely side of leadership with Joanne Falloy. So, Dr. Joanne, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm very happy to have you. So, quickly, just tell us about not just your career, but your workspace. We would like to understand your structure in the office currently, the company that you run, what the structure is about. And you can start by telling us your staffing, how many staffs you have, just so that we can understand, what you're running at this moment.
Thank you very much for having me today. You see, as you said, leadership is a very lonely place, and you literally have to do everything thinking on your feet sometimes. So, as I said, I run an APCM company, and I have a facility, and where it is that I manage between 30 and above staff. And we do both engineering, procurement, construction, and engineering management. It's quite a journey. It's been exciting and a lot of tears and joy and moments. Trust me, it is a handful to manage. But we're in an industry where it is dominated, Nina, by the men. In the industry, as women, we really need to fight for a spot at the table. So I'm grabbing my spot at the table as I speak.
So thank you so much for that. I mean, she said that she has over 30 staffs,
Mhm.
which means that you have a handful of people. I myself, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, but right now, because I'm like a startup, I
Mhm.
have maybe like 10 staff.
You will get
And
there.
then I can imagine having 30 staff because I'm running crazy already just
Mhm.
having those 10 staff. So the first question I have for you is that you mentioned about women at the top.
Yeah.
I know that our industry is a male dominated industry.
Yes.
The first question I want to ask you is that what's the most misunderstood thing about being a woman at the top in this high pressure industry?
You know, they it's almost like we don't have emotions. A man can come and be angry and talk about the matter with all the emotion. In the industry, women are not cut a slack of expressing their emotions, while the men are allowed to get angry and express themselves. If a woman came into the room, Nina, and she's shouting on top of her voice, and the men would say, "See her? That's why I don't like doing business with women. Look at how she's showing her emotions." So you have to put your emotions in, stand your ground, talk nicely, and get your point across. Then you can get into your car and cry. Meanwhile, the men can actually just raise their voice and they say, "Oh, guy is angry." And that's how it is. So, as women, we need to manage our emotions. We're expected to be strong at work, expected to be soft at home. So, it's a lot of juggling.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to build on the fact that
Mm.
women are expected to be strong,
Yes.
especially in the office space.
Mm-hmm.
How has that isolated you as a leader? You know, the word you need to be strong, you need to be strong as a woman. How has that isolated you, especially in the workplace?
It's a very beautiful question because if you have an emotion, express that emotions, but expressing that emotions becomes a disadvantage, you are going to lose a lot of things. So you have to reel in. You have to understand your room, read the room. Not like you're not allowed to get angry. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to have your own, have get a charge and control of your emotions because of the kind of environment we find ourselves. You can imagine that you come into a bidding room or something where you're bidding for a job and you're trying to convince them that you're trying to win the job and you burst into tears.
Hmm. That would be something.
I know, right?
Because they'll just be like,
What's going on?
what's going on?
Did a
Are
guy
we
beat you?
are we going to leave this project for her? Are you sure we should not
Exactly.
consider somebody else?
Do you
You
understand?
know?
So it doesn't matter what is going on with you. And as women, we're very tender inside.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to reel in your emotions, do the job, and
Yeah.
you leave.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty much.
so based on that, have you ever made like a tough decision, that left you feeling very isolated in the office? What happened? Like, can you remember a time that you made like a very tough decision and it made you feel isolated in the workplace?
A lot of time,
Just tell
almost
us the
even.
most interesting one.
Now, so this decisions is that there are some decisions you make where you have to choose your company versus the people you like or the people you're working with. And
Okay.
those choices are hard. Think about maybe you have a project and you now need to cut down on staff.
Hmm.
That's a tough one. And you have staff that are been working for you for a long time. But when you look at the finances, when you look at the fact that the project is coming to an end, what do? You have to be brave
Hmm.
and do the needful.
Hmm.
Sometimes you get into your car. If you need to cry, you need to ponder for 1 hour to think about what it is that had just happened.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make the decision, and most of the time, you choose your company.
Hmm.
That's tough.
Wow, that must be very tough
It
because
is.
I can imagine, having to let go, especially if they are bright
Yes.
and they've done the project perfectly. But
Mhm.
of course, they don't need them because in our
Exactly.
industry, the project pays the salary. So
Exactly.
we work based on, project paying the salary. So if there's no
Exactly.
project, then you just leave just the very key ones,
That's
the
it.
ground staff and not the workers. So that's
Yes.
very, very, profound.
Mm.
So what do you think? Do you think that women leaders experience a different type of loneliness than men? And why do you think so?
Yes, they do experience a different kind of loneliness, I will say, because the men are expected to be the men, both at work and at home.
Mm,
You, as a woman, you're not expected to be Oga at
mm,
work and
mm-hmm,
Oga at home. I don't think your husband or your significant other will be happy about that.
mm-hmm,
So you have to wear two hats, and that is a lot of juggling.
mm-hmm,
Where you are a boss at work
mm-hmm,
and you pull your figurative suits
mm-hmm,
and put it in the boots and
mm-hmm.
get into the house and you are.
Yeah, and that I'm just thinking about it
Mm-hmm,
right now. And another side of what I'm even thinking
mm,
is the fact that, as men,
mm-hmm,
especially in some industries that are
mm-hmm.
male dominated,
Yes.
as men, they can have friends,
Yes.
different friends.
Yes,
Apart
Nina.
from colleagues, you're not their only
Yes.
friend as the wife.
Yes.
But
Yes.
as women, you need to
Hmm.
check it.
I'm glad you mentioned that point, honestly, because sometimes you're expected to meet these people at some hours of the night.
You
You are
know,
expected to go to some restaurants or different places at some
places.
hours of the night.
Hmm.
How do you justify to the house that it is business? And if it's every weekend, for
Oh
example,
my God.
it's
Or if it's late night,
or do you have to have your husband in the car waiting as the
10 p.m.
getaway driver? So you see, it's a very tough one for a
Hmm.
woman to really find that balance.
Hmm.
And not also because there's also a way you can speak, and the men may misinterpret
Hmm.
your expressions.
Hmm.
So you have to always know, where is that line? How do I draw the line and keep it very professional?
Hmm.
So it's a very tough one for a woman.
And very lonely
It is a
because
lonely
you don't
place.
have friends. Your friends would then be your colleagues who
Mm-hmm.
are not your friends, and
Yes.
then your husband
Yes.
or the man in your life.
Yes, but you know what? I find friends. Oh, I have some friends that are my in the industry that understands the business oil and gas.
Hmm.
And sometimes when I call some particular friends, I don't want to mention their names. They will say, "Ha, you are ranting too much. You've been complaining for 1 hour." I'm like, yes, where else will I have to
And
complain?
that's
And
me.
I'm talking about my work, what happened in the office, how it
Oh my
is,
God.
because you know that's a safe space to be. You
Yes.
know,
Hmm.
so you need friends. So friends
Hmm.
are very key in the industry because
Hmm.
no leader can
Hmm.
work in isolation.
In isolations, you
Yes,
need friends. Very
yes, you do.
profound.
You
Like
do.
in this industry, you have to find your way to look for friends,
Yes,
female friends. If your partner is not very comfortable with it,
yes,
just do what you can do.
yes,
So I
yes.
want to ask a very serious question.
Mm-hmm.
What's harder, being responsible? I mean, take a time
Mm.
and think about it. Being responsible for people's salary, your staff,
Mm-hmm.
or being responsible for their expectation.
I say both.
Hmm.
I say both.
But which one is harder?
I say both. Why I say both is that the salaries, it's finance. Expectations is the business.
Hmm.
So when you have expectations, you're
Mm-hmm.
expected to have a specific kind of standard where you keep developing and growing. You can disappoint people, you can lose partnership.
Hmm.
Expectations is key. Salary is also important. You can have all the expectations and you're not paying salaries. Nobody's going to stay in your team.
Hmm.
So both of them, I say, are difficult, my friend.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, I can imagine because sometimes I'm even like just thinking because now you're not even thinking about only their salaries.
No.
You're thinking about because these people also have responsibilities.
Yes,
So you have to pay them.
you have to.
You can't owe them.
You
So
can't.
even if you're having a bad month,
It's not their business.
it's nobody's
You
business.
you call them to apply.
You like they don't even care. If you're
Yes.
in fact the finance that sees that no single money has entered, you know.
It's the one
Ah,
that is telling you, Madam,
how
gentle reminder.
you know
We are already at the 22nd.
like it's so funny. I remember one of my staff last year, the
Mhm,
finance person, the accountant, and we're having an end of the year meeting,
mhm,
and he was just telling me, and it was like I was like, okay, so what's so profound that you think about the management system? And
mhm.
he was like, when he came, he didn't realize that he was just looking at the account, and it was like for 6 months, no money entered, no
Exactly.
credit, but
That is the oil and
but
gas
this
for you.
woman keeps paying us. And
Exactly.
then that made him, think of it in a different light, and was like, you have never owed us for one day.
Mhm.
And he really appreciates that. I
Yeah.
was like, well, it's not like I'm doing you a favor. You're working, so I'm
Exactly.
paying for the work that you did. So, but
Exactly.
yeah, thank you for thanking me.
Exactly.
So I
You had
can
a good staff
imagine.
there. Keep him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if they stay, yeah, if they do their work, we would be able to get that.
Mm.
So, before the last question, I'd just like to
Yeah.
ask that if you could tell emerging leaders, because I know everybody thinks, it's easy, everybody wants to go into entrepreneur, everybody wants to go into business, they want to leave their 9 to 5. Emerging leaders, one
Mhm.
truth about the loneliness of leadership, what would it be? Like your own truth.
Walk the part.
Mm,
Walk the part. Stick to the part. Be focused. You will
Mm.
have a lot of distraction and noises,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But stick to the part.
So what keeps you grounded when you feel isolated? When you're feeling isolated?
Hmm. You have to keep your peace. And you also, if you believe in anything spiritual, you have to also grab that as well
And I
to
mean your
grind your
partner
mind.
too,
Yes.
your husband.
Yes.
It keeps you grounded. So
Yes,
at least
yes, your partner keeps you grounded, but you also have to balance that. It's a balancing act, you see. You in the oil and gas, when we speak is in millions, dollars, euros, big money. Sometimes,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
you have to be
I
careful that
don't know.
you speak it doesn't mean it's in the
It's
account.
not in the account.
So it's balancing.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to balance that.
Yeah, because
Just
everybody,
balance the
they
expectations.
see you and they see, oh, she's all right.
Yes.
They see you and they see, oh, she just signed a $1
Yes.
million
They
contract.
don't know there's a
But they
lead
don't
time.
know what's inside the 1 million.
Yes.
When are you going to get the 1 million?
That's the point.
What is the profit margin in the 1 million?
That is it.
Hey,
That
and let's
is
not
it.
even talk about the unspoken ones.
Exactly. So you see,
Mm.
you need to just learn to walk the path and keep your head high.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you have anything that you would like to tell us? Like any deep story as regards to loneliness that you've one painful thing that happened to you in terms of being lonely that you felt, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So there's this particular project. I think you know about that project I was working so hard on.
Mhm.
It took us like 3 years to work on that project. We won the project and we lost it. We lost it due to some technicalities and we had to make some informed decisions. So I went to a particular person in the industry and he said, Madam, just forget about it. Focus on the next one. It was very painful. Very, very painful. I thought I got into the house and I cried. And I told myself that, look, this is a one man board meeting. I was having a board meeting with myself, which is a lot of time you're having a board meeting with yourself because you're trying to process what to do, to strategize how to win, manage losses, manage expectations, and all of that. But you know what? Do what you need
Yeah.
to do in private
Mm-hmm.
and come out with your makeup,
Mm-hmm.
your hair,
And your red
everything
lipstick.
strong.
But how did your staff like support you during that time? Like, how did they support or not support at that point?
There's a limit to what they can do at the point because they've done all the heavy lifting
Mm-hmm.
of ensuring that we got all the information required, we got all the documentation, we won the contracts. Then there's a level that it is you and you alone that can make that happen.
Mm.
And this was like a failure on my part because they
Mm.
succeeded and I didn't.
Mm.
Yes.
So in leadership, you can feel failures
Yes.
and you can feel success.
You can feel it.
Well,
yes.
how would you weigh your own? Like more failures, more success?
Now, I would like to put this in an illustration. There was somebody drawing a management success rate.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a river. You can't see deep into the water. And in the river, your failures are a lot under. Failed business, bad decisions, money loss, whatever. And the spikes on top of the river that you can see are the successes. So in management, in leadership, there are a lot of unders. But what people see are the spikes on top. So we just keep the spikes as many as we can and bury our failures.
I'm telling
under.
you,
That's just
so
the
that
way.
the laughter will be limited.
That is
Not
it.
everybody will laugh at you.
That is
You
it.
have to come and show
That
face.
is it.
And
Because if you think about it, the very wealthy people in business today, if they tell you how many businesses that they attempted and failed, you'll be amazed. But we see and glamorize the ones that are successful.
Yeah.
Failure is an orphan. Success is
has plenty children.
Exactly.
Plenty fathers.
Fathers and
plenty mothers. So thank
so that's
you.
how it is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much for being our first guest on this show.
Oh, I am so
No, she bullied me to it.
I am so proud.
She bullied me to it.
I told her it could not happen.
I can't wait for your husband to watch it so you will analyze it.
Yes.
And say, yes, you did well.
I know. He said, you're really taking the gist.
You're taking the gist. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for
you.
coming. And to my viewers out there, You've heard Dr. Faluyi. I know that there are a lot of us that are in leadership. We tend to go to the office, we have staff, but most times the staff just come there to do what they need to do and, mind their business. But that doesn't take out the fact that sometimes you also need a friend to talk to.
Yeah.
For the men, it's easier because after work, they have, a club that they need to go to,
Mm-hmm.
they have a hangout that they need to hang out, they have
Mm-hmm.
friends that they need to go and see. But for the women, it's a bit limited. But find you a woman because there's also a woman out there that, does the same thing that you do. So instead of competing with her, collaborate, let her be your friend. Sometimes we inquire from, Dr. Faluyi's company and we buy from them and, we try to do business with them. It doesn't take out my own shine. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even stop my profit from happening. It doesn't stop anything. But the main thing that we need to understand and know is that you can feel loneliness, but you can still walk through your loneliness in the workspace and in the office space. And your staff can only do what they can do. They can either contribute to frustrating you more or they can contribute to making it easier for you. But you don't need to have any expectations from them because they are just there to do the work and you are the leader that needs to be able to know how to navigate all through. So if you're a leader and you have any story that you wish to share with us, I would indulge us to send me an email to nennamadwabom@gmail.com. I would like to hear your story. I might even read it, some other time so that other people can learn from you and emerging leaders can also see what they can do to make their own life more purposeful and their workplace more, enjoyable. Till next time, guys, this is Office Talks with Nnenna Madu, where the boardroom meets the break room and the gist is brutally honest. See you guys on the next episode. Bye.